First time in a year someone actually attacked me for not cutting out these intros where I walk in and I sit down. It's like, why don't you edit? I laugh so hard. I'm surprised they're not. It doesn't occur more often. About the two different types of people, and of course there are several different types of people. I've talked about that before. There's intellectuals, and then there's artistics, and as I've said before many countless times, the most evil people in the world are highly intelligent and yet incredibly unwise. They have no wisdom, and so their motives are completely evil. But I'm not talking about that today. Drawing a perfect line, and by the way, the Egyptians knew about this. There were analytical people, fundamentally, and then there are artistic people. People that actually have nonlinear minds. These are always the people that produce the best artwork, the best sculptures, the best poetry, the best literature. You can actually see this too in the photography world. No, it's not always the case that someone is perfectly on one side or the other. So, when you say, well, you're trying to pigeonhole people, that's only half true. I mean, it's rarely the case that someone is 100% in one arena and the other, but generally it is the case because the generalization is accurate because it's generally true. You can't generalize. So I guess you can, because generalizations are accurate because they are generally true. And I'm going to get into this in a second. There's a perfect movie analogy. I don't know if you've ever seen the Poseidon Adventure. There was a version from like the 1970s, which one of the actors was Roddy McDowall and some other folks. That was the best one. And then it was recreated using Kurt Russell. But before getting into that, like one of my favorite artists, she's kind of young, and she acts like I'm not going to mention who she is, but this could really apply to countless, famous singers. She acts like she's autistic, which, fine. And of course, she does beautiful drawing, and she actually has an incredibly lovely voice. And she's an amazing singer. The problem comes in, and none of you, including me, were taught this stuff in high school or college, is that while we should enjoy the fine artwork and the fine artistry and music, and she produces very angelic, beautiful music, she's not anybody you should listen to. It's kind of like your favorite, just think of the person you think that's the best actor in the world, actor or actress, the top 5. If you go to their Twitter page or their Instagram page, these people are mentally deranged. I mean, they are so not only unwise, but so fundamentally ignorant and unintelligent. What you do is you take from them what is best. Like, you could have the best chef in the world, right? It's like, my God, there is nobody on this earth, and I've traveled the whole earth, this is the best chef in the world. But you would never let, that person do car repair, for example, or give you advice in life. And yet people do that with these artists. I mean, she's only one example among countless millions and millions. People will appreciate, like, for example, her fine voice and the fact that she's an angelic singer and her music is great. And I know a few artists like that. Their art is absolutely incredible, but these are not people you want to listen to. It's like, you appreciate their artwork. You might even pay for it and hang it on your wall, but these people have nothing intelligent to say, and they have no wisdom quite often. No, you're generalizing again. Yeah, but I'm also correct. I'm also correct. Their minds are flighty. They are not in touch with reality. This one singer, for example, and I'm not trying to single her out, she might be autistic, which, is no fault of hers. But, she's living in a fantasy land of the unreal, sky clouds, leprechauns, and unicorns, right? It's completely detached from reality. People like this are the same people, not literally, who will, whistle Dixie and tiptoe through a minefield. They're that stupid. They might make the best art and the best music in the world. It's like, wow, I'd pay $1,000. Not me. I would never do that. Never gone to a concert. I would never pay money to listen to some fool sing. Might pay $1,000 to listen to this person sing, but what they actually have to say is not only of no use. I mean, you can find like a drunken, cross-eyed bum that will give you more wise advice than this very famous, beautiful, angelic singer. And this is what people don't understand. We should have been taught this, and this is what the Greeks, not all of them, and the Egyptians were taught, and also too wiser cultures. Like, you take what they are good at. Just like in the old days when you went into the street bazaar. You know, there's someone, and the same is true in China, for example. There's street people, they're just like an expert at one thing, or two or three things. Like, this person makes the best steak kebabs, but, you know, you don't buy anything else from them. And you go over here for the best fruit salads or whatever. People, and some people are really good at many things, not often the case. But getting to the analogy of the Poseidon adventure, I'm not really a movie buff, but it's a perfect paradigm for types of people and the way they think. There's this huge boat, yeah, it's a luxury boat, and, you know, massive wave hits it, and the whole thing is turned upside down, right? So the boat's upside down. So there's all these people in the ballroom or whatever the heck it is, and it's like 60 feet underwater, maybe something like that. It's upside down, and all the windows are glass. Yeah, and then the captain is down there, or the captain's mate, excuse me. Hold on, everybody, just stay where you are. You know, there'll be rescue ships. There'll be rescue. It's really a brilliant movie as far as, and it accurately singles out the types of people that there are. And fundamentally, there are only two types of people, and those two types of people also too have subgroups. But this particular movie really spells it out. So there's all these people like, oh yeah, this is the first mate or whatever it is. No, the second person after the captain. You need to stay where you are. You know, don't panic. You know, not panicking is a good thing. Don't move. You know, we'll be safe. The rescues. But there are these other people, depending on which Poseidon adventure movie you see. One of them being Kurt Russell, and like, no, these windows are cracking. We're all gonna die. We wait here. We'll listen to this more. Well, yeah, but there's all these, and he's trying to convince some people. But it's like, oh no, he knows best. This guy, this guy is second after the captain. You know, we need to. Like, no, you don't. You're gonna die. And so they build a makeshift ladder since the boat's upside down, and then they, you know, other people that have the intuition. There is several different words that this goes by. Intuition. It's like you could have the best expert in the world over here telling you something, but you know intuitively that this person is, you know, this person is not wise. You should not listen to that person. You know the stuff is about to go down. And that actually is hyperlogical. There is such a thing as hyperlogical and intuitive. Basically, that is a type of retroduction, by the way. So anyway, they build a ladder and they climb up, which is the ship's upside down. And then just as they get up there, you know, there's all these people down there. The windows break, and then the water floods in and kills everybody. That's exactly how humans are. They will listen. There are groups of people that will listen to their leaders, you know, or people in authority. There's no such thing as authority in a debate, by the way. There's only experts and intellectual pedestrians. You know, you either have the facts, logic, and wisdom behind it, or you don't. There's no such thing as a freaking authority. There's people that listen to people like that, and these are the people that get swayed for voting. And I'm not talking about voting or politics, but it's about people. And it shocks me that people will listen to so-called gurus and experts on topics. Well, this person has a PhD in physics. He knows more than you do, you tattooed monkey. It's like, really? Why don't you have him define what a field is? You know, why don't you have him explain A, B, C, X, Y, Z? Or, you know, they'll always talk about dualities in nature. There are no dualities in nature. I'm only bringing up science as one example. True science is the quest for truth. But today's scientists are not scientists at all. What they are is mathematicians, and mathematicians only believe in things that you can quantize, hence the word quantum. Things you can count. It's literally the religion of counting and math, and I'm not against math. They don't believe in things that you cannot quantize, hence the word quantum, once again. And these people are not truth seekers, which is a root definition of a scientist, the techne. When I not talk about Greek lexicon terms for science and whatnot. No one has ever gone looking for the answers to things they think they already know the answer to. These people think they know what light is. By the way, quantum, by their own definition, is based upon, their words, not mine, our understanding of the nature of light. Well, they have no idea what light is. It's not a particle. It's not a wave. There's no such thing as a wave. A wave is what something does, not what something is. Light is not a particle at all. It's not a wave-particle duality, which is, there's no dualities in nature. Duality means inherent contradiction, so that's totally impossible. It's not an emission. Light is no more an emission than sound is an emission. Well, sure, sound is emission. It's got a speed. That's the rate of propagation against the nitrogen and oxygen that makes up the air. It's the rate of propagation against the ether, against itself. In other words, it's the hysteresis or lag. So that's the so-called speed. It's a rate of induction, not a speed of something emitted and traveling from point A to point B. But this is a really, really important point that should have been taught in high school and college. Is we identify people, we don't want to necessarily pigeonhole them, but we recognize their strengths and their weaknesses. You know, if you were dying in a house, you know, the fire is raging, right? And you're on the fifth floor, help me, help me! You know, would you really want some, you know, anorexic, you know, little waif, you know, trying to drag you out of a burning building? Or would you want some, you know, burly dude that looks like you got walnuts for knuckles to drag your butt out of the burning building? Well, the answer is simple, right? We have this PC culture that's literally destroying, rotting the world from the inside out. People are taking note from famous people. And by the way, actors are nothing other than paid professional liars. That's all an actor is a professional liar. An actor is a professional liar. People follow these you know, wackadoodles, and they listen to them on Twitter and Instagram and their social media. These people have nothing intelligent to say. I mean, I kid you not. You could take your 5 best actors and actresses. These are the best in the world. You just go look at their Twitter or Instagram page. If you believe in what they had to say, then you're not smart at all. You're extremely unintelligent. These people say the most ignorant, illogical, nonsensical, unintelligent, blathering poppycock that you could possibly imagine. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a famous actor. Listen to me spew my garbage on Twitter and Instagram. Blah, 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 blah. You should have been taught or had the wherewithal vis-a-vis wisdom to not listen to these people. I enjoy their movies, but I don't want to listen to what the heck they have to say because they're fools. The world would be 1,000 times better if people actually followed this undeniable truism of human nature. We enjoy people for what they're good at, but we have no interest, we should have no interest in listening to them blather about nonsense that they have nothing intelligent to say on. I love that Poseidon Adventure movie because it's not that it's an action movie, which it is. It's just so accurate about humans. People will, like, either they're herd lemmings. They'll listen to some guy. Oh, listen to me. I'm the captain's first mate. Whatever the heck they call that. I can't think of what it is. It's number 1. That was Star Trek, right? Whatever the first person is, everything. People will listen to that, and they'll all die. And there are other people that intuitively know the truth of things. Like, you know, we're all going to die if we don't get out of here. You know, we're not listening to that guy. You know, if you want to live, let's go. Those are the people that save their life. Humanity really is like that. People that are into this lemming herd sheep mentality and people that actually have common sense and wisdom. You know, even a dumb animal, you know, all it does is think about sex and food, but they have an intuition that has been completely bred out of about 60 or 70% of humanity. Maybe it might not be that much, but easily over half of humanity. Common sense and intuition, for lack of a better term. There's another term for it in the Greek, not that you care. Natural intuition. You know what's going on. Yeah? You know, a dumb animal has no formal learning or education. It can't read or write, but it knows. You know, that's the reason why it's pretty hard to, you know, it's really hard to catch an animal because they have an intuition. They can sense stuff. You know, they have no education. Unfortunately, that's been bred out of way too much humanity, and that's part of the reason why humanity is so messed up today. There's one of many reasons. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Even if you didn't, I'm still right. Goodbye.